Me
What?
too.
No, stop. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the April Reading Wrap-Up Live Show. So I love both of these ladies, but this is the first time I've ever had them on my channel. And I've known Sarah since I started BookTube. Like, I feel like we were talking about this before. I was like, Sarah, I don't think I've ever had you on my channel, which is a crime. And now I have Camilla too. So yay. I know you guys are friends. So I figured it also makes it comfortable, like for you guys to have like a bestie in it with you, you know? So
Yeah.
I tried to like match you guys together. But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves, your channel, what you like to read, and then we can get started.
Hello, I'm Sarah from Sarah's Shelves. My channel is very sporadic if I ever post like actual videos, but I like vlogs the most. And I have Sunday reading sprints every single Sunday at noon EST. And I like to read pretty much everything. I'm getting more into like fantasy and sci-fi these days, but I've been reading a ton of romance and like horror mainly.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Camila from Burrows and Books, and I like to post all different kinds of stuff. But I, like Sarah, I like to do a lot of vlogs. And I read basically everything, but recently I've been in a big romance journey and reading lots of romance. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love romance. It has my whole heart, especially like I feel like springtime and summer, I read more romance than any other time of the year. So that's a journey we're all on. So, anyway, my name is Gwen. This is my channel, Gwendolyn Kinsinger. I read a variety of things, but my two favorite genres are thrillers and romance. But you'll see, I have kind of a little bit, I have some sci fi. You know, I have some stuff thrown in there this month. But do you guys post monthly reading wrap ups on your channel, or how do you do that? Like on Instagram or?
I don't, mainly because I feel like I read books too fast to be able to sit down at the end of the month and like fully go in depth into each book. Like I don't remember character names from every book I've read, so I just feel like I would just ramble forever, or I would be like, I gave this rating and that's it. So I don't post them on my channel.
Yeah, I agree. What about you?
Yeah, I don't usually post wrap-ups because sometimes I'll talk about the books in my vlogs and then I just don't like I find it a little bit repetitive. So that's why I usually don't post wrap-ups.
I'm the same. I feel like I was doing vlogs of the books that I was reading, or at least the majority of the books were showing up in a vlog. And I was like, if they watch my channel, like, you know, all the time, they watch all my videos, they already know how I thought about these books. And then also, I read usually a lot of books each month, and I can't remember. Like, I only read 12 books so far this month, and I'm not finishing one today. So 12 for April, which is still a lot considering like I didn't read for a week. But I was looking at the first book I read this month, which was Camp Zero by Michelle Mean Sterling. And I was like, what happened in this book? I don't remember. So that's only with 12. So imagine when I was reading like 20 a month or something like that. It's just so hard to keep up. So that's how this whole like live show was introduced, because I don't touch on every single book. You know, we don't go in depth on every single book, but I also like, I feel like it's easier to talk to a friend about a book than it is to just like sit in front of a camera and be like, what do they want to know about the books that I read, you know?
Exactly.
So I love that. Any books that you're still working on, like you've started it, but you didn't finish it yet?
I'm currently reading book 2 in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, The Ashes and the Star-Crossed King. So I'm like halfway through that, but I'm trying to take my time with it because I'm loving it. And I'm also halfway through this manga, volume 3 of Aroharu Ride.
Nice. Yeah. I was telling Sarah, like, I try to finish books and so I can move on to a next month, like fresh and clean. What about you, Sarah?
Yes, I definitely like to start a new month fresh, so I don't like to carry anything over. Even if I'm in the middle of something, like I'll literally just restart it. It never really happens because I'm good at timing it to where I'll finish it before the end of the month. But it has happened like once or twice, and I'm like, okay, I guess it's a softie enough, and then I'll come back to it like later on, but I restarted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like some months I have carryover, some months I don't, but I try to time it where I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to go through the books that we read this month. If you have some to show, you can show them. If you don't, I'll start. Mine is like in reverse order. So I read Go Hex Yourself by 𝒍𝒂𝒗𝒆, Not the Witch You Wed by April Asher, What's Done in Darkness by Laura McHugh, The Switch by Beth O'Leary, Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I'm trying to gauge, did they like this book? The Last Word by Taylor Adams, The X-Hex by Erin Sterling, which was a reread, The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz, The London Seance Society by Sarah Penner, Georgie All Along by Kate Claiborne, The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth, and like I said, Camp Zero by Michelle Ming Sterling. So what did you guys read?
I just want to say that's really impressive that you own all the books that you read, because
Yeah.
I don't own barely any of the books that I read.
Well, one of my challenges this month over on my Patreon was we were doing a book of the month clear out. So if you look at all these books, all of these were book of the month books. I did get the special edition of this, but I originally had it in my book of the month. So I was clearing out my book of the months that I hadn't read yet. So I only have one unread on my shelf, and it's The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda, which is Jessie from Reading with Jess, her book club pick for June. So I wasn't going to read that early and then not have thoughts about it then.
Yeah.
And then of course, I picked these up at when my friends came to visit me, and they're two of my most anticipated books of the year. And then I got a backlist in here. And then I picked this up at an indie bookstore a couple days ago, and it's short. So I was I want to see what it's all about, because I had never read anything by the author before. And then, these two books I read in the last 24 hours, Friday to Saturday. I did a readathon with my patrons, and I read both of these. So it was kind of a mixed bag.
Amazing.
All right, what did you guys read?
Who wants to go next?
You go, Sarah.
Okay. So should I put up a picture of each one?
No, just say it.
Okay, so I'll go the first book that I read to the latest. So I read Reasons to Stay Alive by Matt Haig. I read, bear with me saying this word, The Anthropocene and whatever by John Green. It's a fiction book. Yeah. I can never say it every time I get.
I have that book on my TBR, and when I eventually get to it, I'm gonna be like the blah, 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 you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly. The A review. Let's say that. The Life Council by Laura Tremaine. For the Fans by Nyla Kay. No One Asked for This by Kazi David. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. If Cats Disappeared from the World by, don't even want to try to say the author's name, Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Let's see. I have some of them stacked next to me. You Love Me by Caroline Kepnes. Pinata by Leopoldo Golt. Then we have The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I don't know why I didn't put these in order. I have to
No, you're fine.
Dark Romeo by Parker S. Huntington and LJ Shin. Another by Fiona Cole. 100% Match by Patrick C. Harrison III. Happy Place by Emily Henry. If Only You by Chloe Leese. Torn by Carrion Cole. For You and Only You by Caroline Kepnes. Promises We Meant to Keep by Monica Murphy. I reread Twisted Games this month, and then I read Spy Family Volume 7.
Wow, you read a lot. Yeah. You were just reading. I know. It's Sarah's putting us all to shame over here.
That's what I was let me let Sarah go first.
No, I would have went first and been look how much I read. And then be whatever, Sarah.
Okay, so the first book I finished this month was Blood Mercy by Bella Roth. And then I read Six Scorched Roses by Carissa Broadbent. Volume 1 of Owl Haru Ride. Run Unread by Noelle Illy. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, The Tea Dragon Society by Kay O'Neill, Happy Place by Emily Henry, If Only You by Chloe Leese, My Evil Mother by Margaret Atwood, and the volume 2 of Awo Haru Ride.
Very nice. Good job, ladies. I think Sarah has a leg up because she's always doing sprints on Sundays. And she doesn't do like an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. Like she's in there for like 6 hours.
Yes.
Like I will do my whole day and come back and Sarah is still sprinting. So good for her. I'm going to just get through some of these comments completely the same as Sarah. Hi. First wrap up live I've caught. Yay. The good sister, and it's so good. Hello, Deja. Thanks for stopping by. Hello, Lena. Everybody's saying hello. Okay, so based on what we said, I wanted the audience to vote what they think our favorite book was of the month. So if you can remember what we read, do you have an idea of what our favorite books were this month? Do you guys have a guess for what my favorite book would be this month?
I'm gonna say Yours Truly.
Same.
Okay, we'll see what the comments say.
You're like, we gotta wait for the big review.
Everybody's like, Yours Truly.
The way we're like, Yours Truly.
Yours Truly. So you're saying at least 2 of us will say Abby Jimenez. Okay.
Wow.
Yes, my favorite book of the month was Yours Truly. Like, I just freaking love Abby Jimenez's writing so much. I love how they're like true rom-coms. Like, they're funny, they're romantic, but they also deal with like deeper topics and themes. And I just love these characters so much. When they were writing letters back and forth, my whole heart just like grew 10 sizes. So yes, this is my favorite book of the month by far. But I also did rate both of these 5 stars. But like, you can't touch Abby Jimenez. I'm sorry. Yeah. She's a queen. Love her.
Yeah.
What do you think my lowest rated book or my least favorite read of the month was?
That's hard. Maybe Camp Zero?
Okay, that's a good guess. Any guesses, Sarah?
I'm going to say, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to say The Switch by Beth O'Leary.
Okay, so this is what people are guessing. The Writing Retreat. I rated The Writing Retreat 2 stars, but that is not my lowest rated book.
Oh my goodness.
I rated, and I know you like this one, Sarah, right? Did you read this
No, I haven't read it. I was actually going to guess that one, and then I was like,
okay, so this was my least favorite book of the month. It was a lot of telling or showing rather. You know what I'm trying to say.
Telling rather than showing.
Yeah. And not only that, but like the London Seance Society. I went into it for a seance society. Where was the seance? I don't know. There was not a seance in here till the end. But then that was also the part of the book where everything was kind of being revealed. And I'm like, you're disrupting my seance. Okay, I need a seance here and you're ruining it. And it just talked about like the dark underbelly of London and all of that. And like, no. No. I have to say, this is the most gorgeous book cover of the month, but it was not it. And I do have the pretty Barnes & Noble edition.
I hate it when that happens, when I have such a pretty book, but I didn't like the book.
But it's fine. I'm going to take it to the book exchange and get my money back. Yeah, it was, I don't know. I feel like it had so much potential, but I don't think sometimes I really think that the authors do not write the synopsis of their book. Cause I'm like, that is not what happened. So
I mean, is that like part of a series? Because I know like The Lost Apothecary, is that like a follow-up to that? Or is it just like another book by that author?
I haven't read The Lost Apothecary, but it's just another book by the author.
It's a standalone.
It just kind of like gives me the same vibes as like the cover of the first one. So I thought they were like in the same series.
Deja's mad. Yeah, I just did not. It was not it. Okay, now it's time for everybody to guess Sarah's favorite and least favorite. Let's do her favorite first. Let's see. I have to look at Sarah's books again. I'm lucky. I have them written down. She read so
many.
I'm just gonna go with yours truly by Abby Jimenez.
I'm gonna go with the Taylor Adams one, whichever. I forget what it was.
The last word.
The last word.
Okay, so Dave's just like, let me go back. Let me go back. No worries. I think that's so funny. Like, you'll pause it to do something, and then you go back to a live show, and you're like, what are they talking about in the comments? We're not talking about that. So, all right. Are one of us right?
Neither of you are right.
Oh my goodness. I'm surprised.
Let me look. Maybe, is it going to surprise us?
Is it the Chloe Lease?
It shouldn't.
Okay, it's going to be. Oh no. Oh, Happy Place by Emily Henry. I don't know. No. Okay. Oh, maybe the reread of Twisted Games, since you reread it.
Okay, so like, yes, but since it's a reread, I don't think I can count it as like my favorite. I can't stop thinking about it, and I literally made a bookmark with my favorite quote from the book on it last night, just because I was like, I was cute, right? But I don't think I should count it because it's a reread. But off of the books that I've read for the first time this month.
Did anyone in the comments say it?
No one really. Oh, no. This one.
No.
Okay. Sarah's taste remains a mystery to all of us, Deja.
Me too. I don't
know. Okay. Here we go. Drum roll. Go for it.
My turn.
Oh, you know what? I couldn't remember the title of that one, but that cover is my favorite of the books that you read. Oh, so tell me what it's about a little bit, what it's about.
I mean, as soon as I finished it, though, like, I wanted to reread it, and that's how I knew it was good. I listened to it on audio because I didn't have the physical copy yet, but now I want to reread it and annotate it. It's basically like a marriage of convenience type story, and it's like rich people at first. It's like enemies to lovers. You know, she's marrying him because her reputation will be kind of destroyed if she doesn't, but he's really mean to her, but like he also has a soft spot for her, so it's really cute.
I love that.
And it's like kind of like a loose Romeo and Juliet retelling. There are like essences of it, but it's not like
the same story,
flat out retelling.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, least favorite, based on your reaction, I'm gonna go Happy Place by Emily Henry.
No.
You're like, no. I have no idea. Let me look at the list. Least favorite.
I need to look at this list too because I can't remember what I ever read.
I'm glad we have a cheat sheet.
My Goodreads is updated, so if anyone here wants to look at my Goodreads.
Oh man. Maybe 100% Match by Patrick C. Harrison III. Because I have no idea what that's about.
Okay. For you, I'm gonna guess For You and Only You by Caroline Kepnes.
You're correct.
Oh, good job. So that one didn't work. Okay.
And it was my most anticipated book of this year.
Ooh. That's the worst when that happens. Yeah. That is literally the worst.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's see. Gabby's like, your least favorite was the one you didn't like. Love that.
I mean, but like, honestly, your least favorite could also just be the one that you forget about. Like, you read it and you're like, oh, I read that book, but I can't even remember anything about it, so it must have not been that good.
Yeah. Okay, now it's time for us to guess Camilla's. Do you have any guesses? Favorite book first.
I'm gonna guess
she has some good ones on here. Like, can I guess like 4 of them?
I'm gonna guess If Only You.
If Only You by Chloe. Yeah, I like that one. But I'm also like, I've heard mixed things about Happy Place. I haven't read it yet, but some people have loved it. Some people are like, I didn't get it. And then the 𝒕🔢 Society is so freaking cute. And then yours truly. I mean, that could also be her favorite. But I feel like If Only You.
Nope, it was yours truly.
Oh,
Yeah. Loved it.
So good, right? Like, isn't Jacob just like the cutest cinnamon roll that you've ever met in your entire freaking life? Like, I will defend him at all costs. Come at me.
And the rep is so good in that book. Like,
I love that it was the guy with the anxiety.
Yes.
Me too.
I feel like
too.
I don't feel like we're lacking in anxiety representation in books. I feel like it's pretty well represented, but it's mainly from the female's perspective. So I really appreciated that it was Jacob this time. So yay. That was the guess. And then Jessie did guess correctly that 2 people were going to say yours truly. Good job. And then Deja also said yours truly.
Yeah. I was going with Chloe Lee's first, and then I was going to say like yours truly. But
yes. And then, of course. Okay, let me scroll back to the top of my document. Okay, so now it's time for our springtime trivia. So I have 2 like springtime trivia-ish games. One is just like a multiple choice. That's what it's called, multiple choice. One is a true false, and then I have another like bookish game. So we'll start with the springtime trivia. I'll read the question, give you an A, B, and C. And then the audience, I also want you guys to guess. And we're going to see like who gets the most right. Okay. So the first question is, what is the name of the Roman goddess of spring? You get bonus points if I don't have to say A, B, or C and give you options. If you just know it, you just let me know. Again, what is the name of the Roman goddess of spring? Is it A, Flora, B, Venus, or C, Diana?
A?
What was A again?
Flora.
Flora?
Yeah, A. I think that too.
Okay, it was A. Okay.
Me over here just like, what was the question?
Say it again, Gwen. I'm holding up your phone. Did you get that, Siri? Okay. Number 2, about how many tulips bloom in the Netherlands every spring? So we're talking millions here. Is it more than 2 million, more than 5 million, or more than 7 million?
More than
5 million.
Yeah.
Nope. More than 7 million.
Wow.
Dang, that's a lot of tulips.
I know. That is a lot of tulips.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's out here counting all of them? That's what I want to know.
Well, I guess they probably know how many they plant, you know?
Yeah.
7, go big or go home. Exactly. More than 7 million. I just cannot even think of that many. Okay. Which plant's name comes from the Old English word that means day's eye? Is it a dahlia, a delphinium, or a daisy?
Wait, can you read the question again?
Yeah.
Which plant's name comes from the Old English word that means day's eye? Is it, let's see. So it's
Daisy. Right?
Yeah, same, Daisy.
Yes. Yes, you're both right. Okay. Which of these is not a spring zodiac sign? So we have A, Aries, B, Gemini, or C, Scorpio. Which of these is not a spring zodiac sign?
Scorpio.
Yep. You both got it. Nice.
Knew it wasn't Aries because I'm an Aries.
I know.
Gemini is like, that's Christine's sign.
Christine's sign, yeah.
I love that. That you like
Deja's a
know
Scorpio,
your
so
friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome. Very good. Okay, next question. From which country did the story of the Easter Bunny originate from? Is it A, Ireland, B, Germany, or C, Romania?
Germany?
What were the Germany?
Ireland and Romania.
I'm gonna say Ireland.
Germany. Good job. Which is so like interesting, I think. Okay. When does spring begin in the southern hemisphere? Is it March, September, or October?
In the southern hemisphere?
September.
Yes. Sarah's thinking about it too hard. Those wheels are spinning. I was like, let me give her an
like when
let me
all
give her
the
an out.
Australian booktubers are like, oh, it's springtime.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Which black and white animal only gives birth in the spring? Is it A, skunk, B, penguin, or C, zebra?
The way I was gonna say cow, if that was an option, was not an option.
Or D, cow.
Skunk.
Okay.
Zebra.
Skunk.
I remember Bambi. I'm like,
see, it's like, and they say that all these other things don't matter. It's like movies and books. Like, this is how we remember stuff.
yes.
Okay. What is the most common species of rabbit in the United States? Eastern cottontail, American fuzzy lop, or Jersey woolly?
I feel like B is trying to like throw us off because it says American.
So that's when you don't pick that one.
But is that a trick? I don't know.
Sarah.
Light as a Sarah. My first thought was a cow too.
I was just waiting for you to say cow, and I was gonna be like that one. And then when you didn't, I was like, oh, I'm gonna say cottontail.
I'm
not confident.
I'll go with Jersey.
It is the Eastern cottontail. Okay, last trivia question. You know, the multiple choice. Which spring superfood does not have over 500 different varieties? So 2 of them have over 500. 1 of them has less. So is it avocado, apricot, or mango?
Avocado?
Mango?
It's apricot.
Oh, they're both wrong.
But isn't that crazy? So that means there's over 500 different varieties of avocados, which that seems like a lot. And then there's over 500 different varieties of mango, which is a little bit more believable to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to move on to fact or fiction. Lena says she's usually good at these. Good at mango. Yeah, everybody was right. Okay. Okay. Question number 1, fact or fiction. The first day of spring is called the vernal equinox.
False.
False. Yeah.
It's fact.
Oh, I thought it was the spring equinox.
I did too. But it's not. We were all wrong.
All wrong.
Fact or fiction. The word equinox comes from the Latin words meaning equal day. The word equinox comes from the Latin words meaning equal day.
True.
I know. I was
true.
Nope, it's false.
Oh.
It's fiction. It means equal night. So it was close. It was tricky.
Yeah.
You were so convincing.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Okay, this one, I have hope that you guys are going to get it. But maybe I just jinxed it. Okay. In Greek mythology, the goddess of spring and nature is Aphrodite. True or false?
False.
False.
False. It's Persephone. I feel like if anybody has even heard of lore Olympus, like, yes, you're like, okay, it's not. It's Persephone. Okay, true or false? Okay, I'm not going to be able to say this word. Meteorological spring always begins on March 1st and ends May 31st. Meteorological spring begins March 1st, ends May 31st.
False.
It's true.
Oh. Every time I get it wrong, I'm like, dang.
Okay. Okay. About 36% of Americans say that spring is their favorite season.
How do they calculate this? They're like, what's your favorite? Like on the census, it just says like,
what's your favorite season?
It's false. It's only 26%. I was thinking 36 was like way too high because I was like, most people say like either summer or fall, I feel like.
What are the stats on that? Do you know how many people said fall?
No, I do not have this. This is spring. This is spring edition. True or false? Fact or fiction? Sarah.
Doing some research over here.
Okay, true or false? Snowdrops are considered to be the first spring flower to bloom. It's trying to throw you off.
True.
It's snowdrops. Yes, it's true.
Sarah.
I was like, I'm not even going to try to answer.
Okay. True or false? Baby lambs can walk within 1 hour of their birth.
True.
True. True or false? Babies born in the spring are more likely to develop seasonal allergies.
False.
False, right?
Right. They're least likely to develop seasonal allergies.
Because it's like the immunity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Proud moment. Oh my goodness. Okay. Next question. Tornadoes and hurricanes are most likely to occur during the spring.
True.
False.
It's false. Only tornadoes, not hurricanes. All right. Last question. According to U.S. News, Cancun is the #1 spring break destination.
True.
True.
True. I thought those were so fun. And I was like,
yes,
bookish people love nerdy facts. So let's do it. Okay, so my next game is more bookish. And what I did is I asked on Instagram for people to send me like really popular characters from books. And I'm going to say the character, and then you're going to try to guess the book or series that they're from. And then I also did a little bit of research on my own and picked some other characters. So hopefully it's a little bit more difficult because the ones I sent I thought were pretty easy, but we'll see. Okay, it all just depends what you read too, you know? Like, are you reading the popular stuff or are you a little bit more niche or whatever? Okay, so there's kind of like 3 levels. First character, Rhysand.
A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Ding, ding, ding. Mary Lennox.
The Secret Garden.
Dang!
Okay.
She's like, yes. Count Olaf.
A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Yes. Katniss Everdeen.
The
Hunger Games.
I'm glad I didn't think of them. The tea would have went everywhere. Hunger Games. I love that. Gretchen.
Mean Girls.
Yes, but also no.
Gretchen.
Oh, Gretchen.
I can't think of anybody but Gretchen Wein.
Me either.
Gretchen.
If you know in the comments, let us know. Someone else said Mean Girls too. No, what?
Wait,
what?
What's the genre? Can you give us that?
It's horror. Grady Hendrix wrote the book.
That's probably why I don't know.
Oh, My Best Friend's Exorcism.
Yes. Okay. Lily and Atlas.
It Ends With Us.
It Ends With Us.
Yes. Addie and Henry.
The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Yes.
I was like moving my mouth as you were saying it without words coming out.
I saw you. I was like, what is Sarah doing?
I love it. Okay, Rocky.
Project Hail Mary.
Yes.
Okay.
Nick and Amy.
Nick and Amy. I keep thinking of Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Same.
Like, no, her name's not Amy.
I'm surprised the comments hasn't got this one yet. Nick and Amy, yes, they got it.
Oh.
Gone Girl. I mean, it's an older book, but yeah. Terrible at remember characters' names. I forget them immediately. I feel like that's a plot-driven reader thing to say because that's me. Cassian.
A Court of Silver Flames.
Yes. Kaya.
Definitely sounds like it's from a fantasy, but I don't
know.
Where the Crawdads Sing.
Oh, so not.
Yeah, I haven't read that. So, okay, so that was level 1. That was like,
oh god.
Those were the ones submitted on my Instagram. So oh yeah, your dog. Where's Gabby saying my dog? Okay. So if you guys want to participate, I'm talking to the audience, not you guys, but you too. If you want to participate, maybe in the next reading wrap up live show, like keep an eye on my Instagram. It's at Lavender Mud, and maybe I'll ask a question and you can contribute to the next game. All right, level 2. Let's go. These are characters that are in books that released in April.
Okay.
So it's like popular releases of April. I picked 6 books, and I was like, okay, these are characters from those books. So Harriet and Wynne.
The Happy Place.
Yes. Pippa and Gabe. I don't think you guys have read the book, so it might be harder. Maybe the audience will get it.
Wait, you said Pippa and what?
Look, so no thoughts, empty. Empty right there. The characters were Pippa and Gabe. It's a book that I read this month. Yep. Keisha got it. The Soulmate. Okay, next is Sally Miltz. Milz. Sally Miltz.
The Fiance Farce.
Good guess, I guess. Like, I don't know.
I just know that came out this month. And I'm like,
maybe that's her name. Who knows? Let's see if anybody gets it in the comments. So it's Sally Miltz, I think is how you say her name. Yep. Kathleen got it. Romantic comedy. All right. Next one, Brianna and Jacob.
Yours truly.
Yes. I was like, we all read that one. So that was fun. Giovanni, well, I should just say it like this. Giovanni and Victor Lawson.
The Riding Retreat. I don't know.
I don't know any of these. Do I even read? Freaking obsessed. Giovanni and Victor Lawson. It's In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. Yeah. Okay. And the last one in this level is Cassidy Bent.
Bent what?
I don't know if we want to know.
You Shouldn't Have Come Here.
The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda.
Mm.
Yep. I knew Brandon would get it because he read it this month. Bent what? Hello. Okay. Next level.
Oh God.
This one shouldn't be as hard. Okay. Arwen.
Lord of the Rings.
No.
No? A Dawn of Onyx.
Yes. I picked
Dang.
characters. Okay, hold on. Peter Michaels.
Literally, the thing I remember least from every book I read are the
The
characters.
names. Yeah.
I know, that's because we're plot-driven readers. All right, Peter Michaels.
No idea.
Neither.
It's Hooked.
Oh, by Emily McIntyre.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't read that.
Okay. Okay, next one is Torrin Grace.
Torn.
Yes. Claire Randall.
Outlander.
Yes.
Oh.
Ezekiel, and this is the last one. Ezekiel and Eric.
Is it? I don't know. Wait. Oh no. I was gonna say Part of Your World just because it gave me like Ariel vibes, but that's not their names.
Right. It's the Tea Dragon Society.
Oh.
So just so you guys know,
Yeah,
I
let's
literally
do that.
looked at your Goodreads and picked books that y'all have read recently and chose characters. Y'all were stumped the most on that, which was
Everyone needs to just like
and Sarah
throw some
Outlander was from your Goodreads.
Well, I haven't. That was So listen, that book I started in not last month, the month before, whatever month that is,
I'm
February, and that was the one that I was like, I'm gonna DNF this because I didn't finish it before the end of the month.
Yeah.
So like that was 2 months ago. So I have to restart it now.
I just love it so much. So those were the games. Now we're going to hop into some reviews, but I thought usually I do like the first book you read and the last book you read, but I thought maybe if like one of us read something that the other is interested in, or we just want to get the hot take on what they thought about a certain book, we could like ask each other which books we want them to review. So like I'll pick a book for Sarah to review. Camilla will pick a book for Sarah to review. You know, we'll do a little round robin. So who wants to be the reviewer first? I'll be reviewed first. Y'all can pick a book for me to read, to review. I've already read it. I've already read it. I promise.
I want to know your thoughts on The Writing Retreat because you said you gave it 2 stars. So I want to know.
Okay. The Writing Retreat. Fair. Okay, so The Writing Retreat by 𝒍𝒏𝒏𝒅. I read this for the Sleep When I'm Dead book club hosted by my best friend Jessie from Reading with Jess. And the discussion was very interesting because some people rated it 5 stars, some people rated it 4 stars, some people rated it 3 stars. For the most part, I think people enjoyed it, but I, of course, was an outlier. I was just on a kind of a roller coaster. There was parts that were super boring to me, and I was like not into it. And then there were other parts that I was like super on edge. It's at a little bit of a disadvantage because it has one of those thriller tropes that I don't like, which is where everything is kind of revealed, the who done it, the why done it, everything. And then you still have like 50 pages of the book to read. I don't like that. I like the twist or like everything to be revealed at the end. So it to be like a wow moment. And this one, there are some twists, you know, and stuff like at the end, but it's like, you basically know what's happening at the end. And then it's just kind of like, okay, why am I still reading? Like what else? And then it also has an epilogue that I just thought was pointless. I didn't really like it. But it's basically about this lady named Rosa who has this writing retreat at her house. Like it's in a secluded location and it's very exclusive. So only like a few people get invited. And 2 of the women that get invited used to be best friends. Now they're like enemies and you don't know why. So you're also trying to figure that out. And a big part of that part of the plot line was building up, like, why do they hate each other now? What happened? And then you find out and you're like, are we in high school right now? Are we grown as women? Please answer me, because it was so dumb. So I felt like that reveal just kind of left me like, whatever. But the house was kind of creepy, and they played some like creepy games. And Rosa, it's Roza. I'm probably not saying it right, but she was like unhinged, and I loved it. So it wasn't the worst book I've ever read. It's just that, like, overall, I was just like, okay, it's a book I read. Nothing really stands out in my mind like, oh, that was fantastic or whatever like that. So just kind of like, okay. So I gave it 2 stars.
When I saw the cover for the first time, I just immediately thought it would be like The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, and I felt very meh about that book, so I didn't want to pick this one up. But the more you talk about it, it does kind of sound like that, especially with the whole like reveal part of it. And then it kind of reminds me of Rock, Paper, Scissors also.
It you know, I feel like I've seen a trend lately of books about writing retreats and stuff like that. I read A Quiet Retreat by Kirsten Modglin, The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. There's been a couple of other like writers getting together at this place and, you know, stuff like that. But Lena agrees. Trash.
Deja disagrees very heavily.
There was a good time, not a literary time. The writing was very cringy. Okay. The premise was good, but not executed very well. It's a debut. Yeah, that's the thing. I would read something by her again because the writing was fine. Did I think it was great writing? Not necessarily, but it wasn't the writing per se. It's just that like the reveals and stuff like that were kind of underwhelming. I don't like Lucy Foley at all, and I like The Writing Retreat. Like I said, a lot of people rated it pretty highly. Writing retreats are the new, and then there were none. It's so true.
Yeah, I feel like for me, a thriller is like either really good or really bad based on like twists. It doesn't really matter so much like the writing style.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're going into a thriller, in my opinion, for the plot.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're not shocked by it, or then you're kind of like, oh.
And if you're like, oh, I hate this character, or like I don't like any of the characters, that's not.
And that's what's funny is I didn't like the main character that we followed. I liked Rosa. She was unhinged, but she wasn't even in it that much because she wasn't part of the writer. She was just the one hosting it, like dishing out the games and giving them like the contest or whatever. But there was this other character that I kind of liked half of the time, and then other time I didn't. So it's hard to explain why without spoilers. So that's all I can really say. But all right, what other book should I review?
The Last Word by Taylor Adams, since it was your other highest one.
Okay, yeah, that's one's right here. I actually found this early at the bookstore at Barnes & Noble when I picked it up. I was like, it was like a week early. I was like,
I literally saw your picture and I was like, I was sitting here with my like arc of it and I'm like, how is it already out? Like it's not out yet.
We went to Barnes & Noble and I literally I walked right past it because I was not looking for it, you know, and I think it was the Spine showing or whatever. And I think Lena saw it and then she showed it to Jessie because they all have like arcs of it, you know, and I don't. And so Jessie was like, don't you need this? I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I snatched it so fast. But yeah, that was just, my Barnes & Noble never has things out early, but yeah, I got it early. It was just one of those, is it as good as No Exit? No, I don't think it is, but I've had a long time to sit with No Exit, you know, but it's very heart pumping. My adrenaline was going. And so I do think it meets the expectations. Like if you liked No Exit, I feel like you'll like this too. It's about this woman that is house sitting for someone, and she writes a review, like a flippant review, like this book sucks, 1 star, you know, posts it, and the author like writes her back and asks her to take down the review. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna do that, but like, thanks though, you know, sort of thing. And then he like keeps messaging her to like take it down, and the messages get more cryptic, like or else and stuff like that. And then meanwhile, she's kind of secluded on this like beach place. There's not many houses in the area, but there is this like other house that has this like guy that she like plays hangman with, you know, the one where you do the dummy or whatever and you guess the word. So she's like playing with him or whatever. And then, you know, one night she like wakes up and she thinks she sees someone in her room. And then the guy one time tells her like, oh, I think I see someone at the house. And so it's like kind of like a closed group of characters. And you're like, everybody is suspicious because the woman, I don't even remember her name, Emma Carpenter, you could tell something's going on with her. Like, why is she house sitting? She has this backpack of rocks, and it's always talking about how she'll walk out to the ocean and try to keep walking, but then she like gives up and comes back. So you're kind of like, okay, something's going on with her. Like, I need to know her backstory, and it's not given to you up front. So you're like, I don't even know if she's a reliable narrator. Do we even know this guy across the thing? And then like creepy things start happening. So you have this creepy things happening, but she keeps like checking her house, like checking the house, I should say. And like, she's not finding anybody, and it just gets more and more unhinged. And yeah, it was like, I was reading it on reading sprints and I could feel my heartbeat pumping. I was like,
oh, that sounds so
I need to
good.
come off of this. I
didn't even know he had a new book coming out. So
yeah. So it's not like, I would rate them No Exit, this one, and then Hairpin Bridge, but this one is very, very close to No Exit. It's just that I've had more time with No Exit. So
I think when I read No Exit, I gave it 4 stars, and like it is a very solid thriller, but I gave this one 5 stars.
Yeah.
Just because like it was, again, like heart pumping the whole time. I didn't know like who to believe, what to believe, and I was constantly on the edge of my seat. And then also I just love the fact that like the dog is like a main character. And like Taylor Adams like gives the dog a voice. Obviously, like it's not a talking dog, but like it has its own inner monologue, which I thought was like a great touch.
Okay, this Lena, I'm about to tell everybody her secrets. So her dog, she was talking about how she gives her dog like a voice, like it answers her. And that's literally what happens in here. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Lena. So that was pretty funny. But okay, now we're gonna have Sarah be the reviewer, and we're gonna choose a book for her to talk about.
My reviews are gonna be like a sentence long. You like went in depth, and I'm like,
okay, I want to hear about Happy Place. What you thought of Happy Place? Because I've heard mixed reviews, so I want to hear what you thought.
Okay, so everyone and their mother is like crying reading this book, right? And they're like, okay, Emily Henry is just writing what I feel, and I just don't understand how her brain works like this. First of all, I just don't think it should be marketed as like a romance. I feel like it's more contemporary with like romance in it.
I hate that. I hate that when that happens.
Yeah. I feel that way about every
women, like women's fiction, general fiction.
Not that way, because like I liked the parts about, there was a lot of talk about friendships, and like, you know, there were the present day parts, and then in the past when they like first met each other and they built this like foundation of friendship, and then obviously they're still friends and they're in their 30s and they go to this like summer house every summer to hang out. And the part that made me like it the least is the whole like dynamic between the love interests, because like I didn't like, first of all, like why they weren't together, because you know at the beginning that like they are no
they're
longer,
like fake dating.
Yeah, they're no longer together. But their friend group all thinks that they're still together, so they just pretend. They're like, okay, well, we don't want to like ruffle any feathers, so we're just gonna pretend like we're still together and everything's gonna be fine, because he wasn't even supposed to be there, but like he shows up. So yeah, and I just didn't like why they broke up. And I obviously it's a romance, so they're gonna end up together, but like I didn't believe any of it, and it just took me out of the story. I was like, I would not have forgiven that.
Okay, that's good to know going in. I love knowing going in it's not really a romance, it's contemporary with romantic elements, so that helps me. So thanks.
But it does have deep conversations about like friendships, and
I love books about friendships. Why not advertise it as that? I mean,
I feel like it's definitely more like in the tone of Beach Read than it is people we
Yes.
meet on vacation.
So how many books have you read by Emily Henry, and like where does it fall?
I've read 3 by her. This is my favorite for me.
Oh,
Happy
okay.
Place is my favorite.
Okay.
I've
What
read,
about you?
I've read all of them. So like, well, not all of them because I know
The-
she's
the-
written
the
other
romance,
books,
the
but, like,
romance ones.
all the
Romance, yeah.
romance ones. And this, I don't even know where this falls, but Beach Read has been my fave, and that's like a 4-star. So I haven't gotten a 5-star from Emily Henry yet.
Okay. All right. So we'll get her to tell you a book to review next.
I want to hear about the Nyla K for the fans.
Okay, how do I talk about this? So this book we're following. Oh my gosh, I have to know their names. Hold on, hold please, because I can't talk about it without their names. Basically, we have Kieran and we have Avi, and they're stepbrothers.
Okay.
I'm like, people are gonna like click out. They're stepbrothers, right? Because Avi's mom marries Kieran's dad, and like it's enemies to lovers at first. And Avi has this friend who has an OnlyFans, and Avi needs to make some extra money. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna set up an OnlyFans and make some money. And she's like, the friend is like, oh, this is gonna make a lot of money if we have like a threesome. So they have and obviously they're like stepbrothers, so he's like, don't touch me, like, we'll do this. I don't know why he agreed, but he's like, we'll do this, but like, don't touch me at all.
Okay, we're gonna have a threesome, but don't touch me. Okay.
People see him and they're like, you like should have like a bigger OnlyFans type of thing. And then he's like, but I don't know what I should do. And they're like, we love the back and forth that you and him have. So he decides that it's like, okay, we're just gonna do it for the fans. So
Oh my
they like,
goodness.
start a sexual relationship together.
Interesting.
It's so cute, but they're stepbrothers. So they're like, what? This is my stepbrother. I can't be doing this.
That's
so good.
What a wild ride.
That does sound like a wild ride.
That book was like over 700 pages.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
It was so good.
Oh my gosh. I would not have expected that long of a book.
Me either. Not 700 pages. Wow.
Wow. Well, good job, Sarah. See, you did great on your reviews.
You did.
All right. Now it's time for us to, Camilla is going to be the reviewer. Which book do you want her to review?
You know, it's like the one I want to ask. I feel like I know your thoughts, so I'm going to ask for Run on Red because I've been wanting to read this, so I want to see.
All right, so Run on Red follows 2 best friends who are on their way to this like bonfire with their friends. It's like the end of the year bonfire, and they notice that a car is following them. And so it's these 2 best friends kind of trying to figure out how to get out of this situation. They're literally in the middle of nowhere with a really terrible, crappy car, and they're trying to escape these crazy people that are following them. It's super edge of your seat. Like I read it in one sitting.
Wow.
It goes by so quickly. I really, really, really liked it.
Okay, so I'm adding that to my TBR because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was so good. And it just like how you felt with Taylor Adams' new book, that's how I felt with Run on Red.
I love that. Is it YA or adult?
No, it's adult. It's adult.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, you too, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so excited.
I thought it was so good. It was, oh my God.
Yeah. Which book were you going to ask her, Sarah? I mean, I know you asked her that one, but you said something about another book she read.
I just wanted to hear her gush about If Only You, but like, I feel like I already know.
Okay, yes, that's the one I want you to review because I actually have the first 4 books, maybe 5 books of the series on my TBR. I haven't read them, so I
They're
know.
amazing.
I know. I'm sorry, Sarah. I know.
They're
Everybody tells me like, what are you doing with your life? But they're on my TBR. I have them.
Yeah, I highly recommend them. So this follows the youngest sister in the Bergman family, and she's autistic, so it has really great autism rep. At least what I've heard. I'm not autistic, so I can't speak on that rep, but it's fantastic. It is brother's best friend romance, and it is so cute. I think Chloe Leese writes Pining really good. And I also love how she kind of writes like the third act breakup, because for me, it never feels okay, well, this is just thrown in there because all romances have like a third act breakup. So that's why I really liked it. And her characters are just so fantastic. The whole family, you get to see like the other characters from the previous books, like in this book, because they're part of the family. It's just so beautiful. Her writing is fantastic. I love Chloe Leese.
Yay.
And there's so much depth to it too. Like it's not just about the romance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that all like it seems like all the books have some type of representation, some like marginalized like representation and stuff like that in it. So I love when authors can do that, but it doesn't feel forced. I've heard that it's not like, oh, I'm gonna make this character, be autistic, or it like actually feels like they're genuine people and it's like a natural thing. So I love that.
I have a favorite quote from that book.
Okay, tell me.
Okay. Just because you've lived one way for a time doesn't mean you want to live that way always. That your struggle to evolve isn't an indicator of a lack of desire to evolve. It just means it's hard. And it might be a hell of a lot easier if the people around you saw your possibility.
Oh, I love that. Yay! Now I'm more excited to read it. Kevin asked, like, what was the name of the book? It sounds interesting. I think they were probably talking about Run on Red by Noelle W. How do you say the last name?
Elsie?
Yeah. Yeah. So Run on Red by Noelle. How she said the last name. Okay, so last question of the night. Do you have any special reading plans or any events or any readathons, bookish events, anything like that that you're looking forward to doing in May?
I am participating in May the Force Read With You.
Yay!
Star Wars based readathon that's happening the whole month of May. And I made like a whole journal spread on it for all the prompts. I'm on the dark side, and it's fun.
Very fun. I like readathons that last the whole month because you have more time and more flexibility. So that's nice. What about you, Camilla?
I'm also participating in that. And I'm also going to be participating in Jordan's 72-hour readathon, romanceathon. So I'm really excited for that too. Those are like two big things.
Nice. Do you have a TBR video coming out, or has it already happened?
Yes, I do have a TBR video coming out. I finally am going to film this week.
You're like, I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
Sarah, you're not. I'm not gonna ask.
I don't want to do a TBR. I'm planning on trying to do like weekly vlogs this week just because of the month.
I love your weekly vlogs. There was one time in one video where you made your bed and I watched that section like 5 times. It was so calming. I was like, make your bed with Sarah.
Yes.
So I love it when you vlog. So I would love to see more vlogs from you. I don't have like huge plans. I am participating in Bookathon, which is a spooky middle grade readathon hosted by Keisha and some other friends. That's happening the 1st through the 7th, but I'm only going to read like 3 books. So I will have a vlog about it, but I'm not going to be reading the whole week. And then I'll probably do romanceathon as well. I'm probably going to be reading a romance anyway. Why not make it during that weekend? So yeah, any questions or thoughts or comments before we go?
That reminds me, this weekend, this coming weekend, the 5th? Is it the 5th on Saturday?
Maybe.
I think so. Yes. Yes.
So, okay, Friday night starting at 8 p.m. and going till 8 p.m. on Saturday, Amanda and I from Ginger Snapped Reads are doing our KU 24-hour readathon.
Oh.
Bringing it back. We took like a month or two off, but it's coming back and it's this weekend. So
nice. That's exciting. That's another way to keep up with your TBRs. I will not be participating in that because Friday is a very exciting day, the 5th. It's Cinco de Mayo also. But I'm doing like a whole Reputation Taylor Swift thing because I did a video with my friend Summer where we listened to the album for the first time. It was my first time listening to the album. So I ranked all of the songs. It's an hour and 20 minutes, the video is, but it's only available on my Patreon. But then also for my Patreon, we're watching the Reputation Stadium tour that night. So it's going to be so fun. So I have like a whole little like Reputation Day happening. So I'm excited.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
So yeah. But anyway, I just want to say thank you so much, ladies, for joining me on my channel. I love chatting books with you. We're going to have to do this again soon. Yeah, I guess that's it for us. Thanks everybody for tuning in and watching us talk about books. We'll see you guys later. Bye.